Storytime. So we're back again with part 2 of my experiences working throughout the lockdown. And just in case you missed it, please do check out part 1 before you continue with the story. Now, to make sense of everything, I think it's important for me to remind you that again, we were still in lockdown. As a result, most of our restrictions were implemented because of the lockdown. This is not something we could have controlled, but this was something we tried to manage. Now, this lockdown was a bit difficult for our clients because most people would rely on us. Our business was really important to them. I mean, after all, if we're not open, where would they have sex? Just in case you don't know, most people can't do it at their homes. You probably got kids, you probably got a wife, or you probably got a husband. True story. But this wouldn't stop our patrons from visiting us even though they were not allowed to leave their homes to begin with. Now this guest, who is a doctor, was one of a kind. We'll call him David. Now David was unique because he was different from our usual clients. This person was educated and you'd expect for him to act professional, but that was not the case because even doctors are sex addicts. But this story is not focusing on the prostitute that he brought in. This story is about how he became an MMA fighter the night before he checked out. But stick with me, I promise you the ending gets crazy. Now we all know what doctors do. They heal people, but this doctor was ready to take lives. So how we got into this situation is pretty straightforward. So because of the restriction, we used to lock the doors. And when I say locked, I mean you were in and you were stuck. And you could only get out if you called us. So this was something he did not like because around 3 a.m. he would call someone and no one responded. I mean, of course no one did. You probably sleeping too. But to be fair, we would usually give them our personal numbers just so that they can always reach us. But this is something he did not utilize. So what he did instead was knock on everyone's door looking for someone to open the entrance for him to exit. Understandable, he was probably on call. After all, he is a doctor. So he goes floor to floor knocking on literally everyone's door. Comment down below if you were there. Now he knocked on one door and he found someone, but this someone was actually someone who was not on duty. But he chose to help because he understood that business is business. Unfortunately for him, the doctor was really impatient. He dragged him outside his room. He was rude. He yelled at him. He demanded that he was let out that instant. And to be fair, he tried. So we'll call this guy Steven. Steven is someone close to me. He's actually family. And then when David woke him up, Steven tried to get a hold of me, and he did. As soon as I got on the phone with Steven, he needed the key because it turned out that someone in the building had it. And just to remind you, at that point in time, we were all security guards, so someone kept the key. We made rounds throughout the whole building trying to find this key. Moments passed by and we finally get the key and he rushes out to his car that was parked right in front of the building. Before he could get in, he just started cursing us off. He called us names, he told us we're unprofessional, he basically told us to go to hell. We tried to calm him down and remind him that he agreed to our terms before he checked in, and he assured us that he understood the circumstances. Now at that time, he was more upset with Steven because in his mind, Steven was the one who was keeping the key. Now before I could turn my head, he jumps and tries to attack Steven, and as soon as that happened, I intervened because again, Steven is family, and my first instinct was to react. You could say I almost turned into Batman. I leaped right over his car trying to tackle him down. When you see someone you care about getting attacked, you'd probably want to fight back too. Now fortunately, the fight was not as drastic as I'm describing it. Even though someone got tackled to the ground, I was not harmed and Steven was fine too. But something we did learn is that doctors can fight. Now this was early morning, and fortunately for us, the police did make it in time to stop the fight. David tried to explain himself to the police, claiming that we tried to keep him captive. But lucky for us, he forgot that he signed the registration form and he agreed to our T's and C's. They always do. Now again, the lockdown was really crazy. It was one of the toughest times and I learned a lot during that experience, and I'm grateful that we lived to fight another day. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the story, kindly subscribe to the channel and leave a like or a comment. I will be posting more, and I'll catch you on the next video.